my head above the water, I'm fighting against the tide. Putting people on while I was still on the rise. I took a leap.
Got my head above the water, I'm fighting against the tide. Right? A tide is similar to a wave, just that the wave is more hectic, right? It's more aggressive. Also, a tide can be aggressive, right? But they're not the same. They're similar. A tide is an unbalancing of water, like the sea level of water, right? And it happens periodically. It doesn't happen often. So when the water is moving like this, that's a tide, right? It can get more aggressive. So he's saying he's fighting against this pressure, right? He's keeping his head above the water to see the direction where he's heading. But now there's this pressure of this tide, but he still has his head above and is fighting against this pressure, doing whatever it takes. Whew, man. Let's take that.
Above the water, I'm fighting against the tide. Putting people on while I was still on the rise. I took a leap in the dark for them other niggas to shine.
Now he's talking about why he's fighting against this pressure, because he was putting people on when he was on the rise, and you definitely know why. Know who he's talking about, of course, not why. You definitely know who he's talking about. He's talking about 100 Degrees. He's talking about TWC, right? We know all those guys because of A-Reece. There's no denying that, of course. So he's now taking us through this pressure that he's describing, and he's saying he put these people on while he was on the rise, and he did it. He took a leap, he took a chance in the dark for those niggas to shine. Meaning he took a chance on those guys, and he was also in the background, right? In the dark, letting them shine. Right? He was not he was not putting himself out there as I'm the one, I'm the one putting these guys on or claiming all the credit. He was letting them shine so that we know who these guys are because they were talented. While he was in the dark at the back, letting them shine. Right? Hence he says, I took a leap of faith in the dark, letting them shine. Crazy, bro.
Did it at will, but I had to realign. Remember to go for mine before I see my demise.
I did it at will. I had to realign. I did it willingly. I wanted to do it. I was not forced. I wanted to do it. Crazy, bro. Crazy. And then he said, what?
Did it at will, but I had to realign. Remember to go for mine before I see my demise.
Okay, he remembers he has to go for his, right? Okay, let's go.
Leaving it up to time. Maybe that's why I'm on this 1942 and that 1765. I'm trying to
Maybe that's why I'm on this 1942 and 1765. That's why he's on the Don Julio. That is the 1972. And then the 1765, which is the Hennessy. That's why he's now drinking. Finds himself drinking this expensive alcohol. Right? Because of the pressure. He was putting people on, willingly so, but now he's now the one being painted as a bad guy. He's caught up with this tide. He's keeping his head above the water. That's why he finds himself drinking now, because the pressure is just too much. He's finding a way to cope with this, to deal with this. He was really opening his heart, bro. I'm really feeling him on this one. He was really opening his heart on this one, bro.
To get it out of my mind, I was getting crucified for 1765. I'm trying to get it out of my mind. I was getting crucified.
I'm trying to get it out of my mind, bro. I'm trying to get it out of my mind. The fact that I help people willingly, but now I'm the bad guy.
For 1765, I'm trying to get it out of my mind. I was getting crucified for sacrificing my time to tell you the storyline. Made it into a rhyme. It was kind of do or die or it.
I was getting sacrificed, bro, for putting these people on. I was getting sacrificed. I was getting crucified. Sorry, I was getting crucified. Right? For this. Because you know that there were a lot of talks within that time. People saying, hey, He's now acting a villain. Da 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 da. He took the music. He took the royalties. It was just a whole lot of pressure around that time and a whole lot of talks within that period of time.
For sacrificing my time to tell you the storyline, made it into a rhyme. It was kinda do or die.
Sacrificing my time, and I had to tell you this story. But now I told this story in a form of a rhyme, in the form of a song. I didn't come out and took a camera and then spoke my truth or shed my side of the story. No. I made it into a rhyme to tell my story, my side of the story on this is what happened. Hence, we got songs like Confrontation, where he now spills all the beans. There's a whole lot of songs where he now shares beats and beats of what really happened between all of them. He didn't choose to take a camera and just record himself sharing his side of a story. He made it into a rhyme, to a song. Hence, now he's even rhyming, telling us on a song.
Oh, it could have been suit and tie, yeah. And that would have shed up to a rhyme. It was kinda do or die. Oh, it could have been suit and tie, yeah.
And it was kind of do or die. Is it I tell it, or it's the end of me, and I go to an office and I work. It could have been suit and tie, right? I went to an office. I leave all this music and I focus on something else. So it was kind of do or die, whether I keep quiet or I go on and I tell my side of the story, or I quit this music thing and go work at an office. That's why he's saying suit and tie. It could have been suit and tie, but he couldn't do that. He had to tell his side of his story, bro.
Tell you the storyline, made it into a rhyme. It was kinda do or die, or it could have been suit and tie, yeah. And that would have shed up my pride. I had to get on the grind.
And that would shed my pride. If I went on and did the suit and tie part, my pride would have been knocked, because I'm the king of this rap thing. And if now I move on and I go work at an office, imagine my pride. That would have shed my pride. No, I was not about to let that happen.
Vision won't be denied. I'm just trying to, and that would have shed up my pride. I had to get on the grind. The vision won't be denied.
Hence it says I had to get on the grind. The vision would not be denied. I had to get back on and tell my story, bro. I had to.
I'm just trying to grow with the family on my side. Before I go, I'd rather leave a legacy behind, for real. Yeah, but they don't get it. That's why when it all falls down, they just let it.
I had to grow. I had to keep my family around. Hence, they started a label with J. Jordan, who's his brother, of course. And then I think Cadence is also under Revenge Club Records. So he had to build his legacy alongside his family. He had to he had to come back and stick to the vision, right? And stick on the grind, right? That's why people, when it falls, they let it fall, right? When it's all crumbling, they clap hands, right? Because when people fight, it's like, oh man, we want more of that. We want more of that, right? Crazy.
Why when it's built back up, they want credit.
But when it's built back up, people are saying, no, I did this for you. Crazy. They want credit now. But when it was falling, or when I was falling, it was okay, because they were bashing him, right? They were putting him down, and he had to get back up. Crazy.
And that part of the story, I promise they won't tell it. But I guess it doesn't matter long as we know.
That part of the story, they won't tell it, obviously. But it doesn't matter. He says that. It doesn't matter, because as long as he knows the story and he knows the truth of what really happened, right? It doesn't matter, valid, because you can't go on and explain yourself over and over again. People will always have their own thoughts and their own views. You just gotta keep it you. You just gotta keep it you. That's it. You just gotta keep it you, bro.
From rags to riches, we now regal. Ain't nobody fucking with Reese and Don Kilo. Ghetto superstar. Rags to riches, promise they won't tell it. But I guess it doesn't matter long as we know. From rags to riches, we now regal.
From rags to riches, we are now regal. We're now kings, because regal is something that's associated with king, right? We're now king. From rags, from the ground up to the top, we are now regal. We are now kings. So it doesn't matter now, because now we are kings now. It doesn't matter what the story is or what they think.
Ain't nobody fucking with Reese and Don Kilo. Ghetto superstars, nigga, neighborhood heroes. Yeah.
You know who those are, man. Don Kilo is 25K, and of course, him. The boy. Oh, bro, this song is beautiful, man. This song, even the production. 10.5K, please. At least, Mfana, give us visuals for this one, bro. Give us visuals for this one. Yeah, I had to share that one. That one was more. Hey man, I'm even feeling the pain right now, bro. He was spilling his heart out. If P3 is gonna be like this, then it's gonna be exciting times, bro. It's gonna be exciting times. Can't wait, man. Thank you for making this far. Are watching the coolest channel. That is this, that is that. Anything you want me to, of course, explain, break down, you know what to do. Comment down in the comment section below. That is this, it is that, it is. Of course, once again, Zeta Lakes, I thank you for watching. Mistake, kinda location,